By the time Valentine decorations appeared in shop windows, Osaze and Lola no longer found cartoons interesting. They preferred content rated 16 plus. They whispered about body types, kissing styles, and doing it. All ideas picked up from unfiltered media. In their young minds, adult intimacy felt as casual as sharing packs of chin chin. Childhood innocence slipped away soundlessly like water draining from cracked clay pots. Soon enough, Lola, who was once shy, began rolling her skirt waistband to make it shorter, copying Chinwe's TikTok dance outfits. She posed in front of the mirror, pouting for imaginary selfies. Osaze, who loved drawing comics, started sketching curvy female figures and muscle-bound men in compromising positions. At school, he passed notes to Lola, suggesting they practice some of the scenes they had watched behind the library. But Lola was too scared of someone seeing them. At home, the subtle signs multiplied. Lola used new vocabulary like sexy, babe, smash, words that made no sense in primary school context. Osaze mimicked Akin's swag, refusing to do chores unless he was bribed. As actions remained unchecked by the busy parents, Chinwe started teaching the children various TikTok challenges, some involving suggestive hip rolls and chest pops. She filmed it on Akin's phone and uploaded it to his small TikTok account. The video gathered hundreds of likes overnight from strangers who enjoyed seeing children move like pop stars. Lola checked the view count almost every hour, hungry for digital applause. The likes, the comments, the cheering. Osaze bragged at school about being viral, external validation replacing parental praise. Meanwhile, Akin boasted to his friends that he was raising influencers, blind to the moral cost on the children. By Easter break, the line between child and mini adult had blurred completely. Yet, the parents did not notice. For them, if the kids' grade remained above average, there was nothing to worry about. They mistook academic stability for overall health, not realizing that unseen wounds had hid beneath neat handwritings. Things took a dramatic turn one afternoon as Dr. Lara, Lola's mom, sat down to have lunch at the hospital cafeteria. She had just finished a 14-hour surgical procedure and she was exhausted. As she brought out her phone, she noticed a message from a friend. It was a link to a TikTok video. She would have ignored the message, but then she noticed that the same friend had tried calling her over 15 times. She wondered what the emergency might be. Curious and worried, she clicked the link. Behold, it was her daughter, Lola and Osaze, dancing on TikTok in a way that was provocative even for adults. She couldn't believe her eyes. The outfits, the dance moves, the music, all highly inappropriate for 8-year-old children. Immediately, she called her friend and the woman told her that the children were trending on TikTok. She went ahead to send her more links of the children dancing inappropriately. Tears flowed down Lola's cheeks as she forwarded all the links to the WhatsApp group shared by both families. That evening, 2 emergency family meetings took place at the same time. Voices rose, fingers pointed, and excuses tumbled out. The parents interrogated their children, who stayed quiet in fear of Chinwe's threats. Mrs. Essay noticed Lola's trembling hands and saw how she took side glances at Chinwe. She pulled her into a gentle hug and promised no punishment if she told the truth. Tears flowed as the story started spilling. Akin's visits, the adult videos, the locked door, the cigarette lessons, the dance uploads. Mr. Oyewale's face darkened with anger. Dr. Lara wept openly, blaming herself for taking double shifts instead of paying more attention to her daughter. They all turned in anger to face Chinwe, who had now knelt down, begging for forgiveness. Shock gave way to action. Mr. Osahon called the neighborhood security supervisor, and together they went in search of Akin, finding him lounging in a beer parlor. Minutes later, the police arrived, arresting Akin and Chinwe for child endangerment. The children watched as their once cool babysitters were led away in handcuffs. Their colorful world suddenly shattered. News of the arrest spread across Ajala Crescent. Neighbors whispered, some judged, others offered quiet support, but the greatest damage lay unseen in Osaze and Lola's confused faces. Their once carefree spirits burdened by images and experience beyond their years. With the maid gone, both couples took immediate leave from work to spend time with their children, and as expected, trauma surfaced like a stubborn oil stain. Lola began having nightmares, waking up shouting, "Stop, stop," and clinging to her mother. Osaze grew aggressive, pushing his classmates during trivial arguments and slamming doors. One Friday, during football practice, he tackled a teammate with such force that the boy sprained his wrist. The coach called Mr. Osahon, who rushed to the school field, heart pounding. On the drive home, Osaze sat silent, eyes blank. Then he blurted out, "Is it bad to hit if you love someone? Akin did it." The father nearly swerved into a downfall at the shocking question. Conversations like that came up throughout the week. Lola asked if she was sexy enough, showing anxiety no 8-year-old should feel. Both children's academic focus finally cracked. Their test scores dipped, and the teachers noticed blackouts. As the parents spent more time with their children, they realized that they did not know how to talk about sex, violence, or online safety in age-appropriate ways. They tried online lectures, but the children shut down, showing no interest. With time, the parents accepted that they were out of their depth and decided to seek help with their pastor. After prayers, the pastor recommended family therapy at a child development center on the mainland. The families booked appointments for professional help, hoping that with expert help, they could untangle the knots woven by negligence and premature exposure to adult content. At the Ikeja Child Wellness Center, colorful paintings of butterflies and superheroes greeted visitors, but Osaze and Lola crossed their arms. They were uninterested. The first session began with a child psychologist named Mrs. Omotayo. She spoke softly and offered painting materials. While the kids splashed colors, she asked gentle questions. Red strokes surged across Osaze's sheets whenever she talked about Akin's jokes. Lola's paintings showed a big black cloud covering a small girl in yellow dress. The psychologist noted themes of fear, confusion, and blurred boundaries. Meanwhile, in another room, the parents met Dr. Musa, a family therapist. He explained how children model what they see and how constant exposure to adult scenarios prematurely fired neural pathways meant to develop later. He stressed that the brain at 8 was like wet cement, impressions made hardening into lifelong patterns. The parents listened, eyes moist. They realized their absence had created fertile grounds for harmful seeds. Over several weeks, therapy sessions peeled back layers. Lola confessed she felt guilty for enjoying the attention online and feared that she was not pretty enough. Mrs. Omotayo taught her about self-worth, explaining that her body was a private treasure and not props for strangers' entertainment. Osaze admitted that he now saw girls as objects in dance clips. He was taught to replace those images with healthier narratives through cognitive behavioral exercises. The parents attended workshops on digital literacy and positive discipline. They practiced active listening, role playing scenarios where kids asked embarrassing questions. At home, the TV remote gained a PIN code, Wi Fi timed out after homework hours, and all devices charged overnight on the dining table. Slowly, the children's nightmares lessened. Osaze apologized to his football teammates and wrote comics about a superhero who protects kids from bad media. Lola redesigned her dance steps to celebrate culture, not adult mimicry. Therapy became a shared journey, each week revealing progress. Even neighbors noticed the change. Laughter returned to the duplexes, no longer laced with secret tension. As the children made progress, the parents knew that things could not go back to how they used to be. They adjusted their schedules to make sure that at least one of them was available to take care of the kids on weekdays, even if it meant working from home. They ensured their work activities ended at 5 p.m., pushing excess work to the next day so that each family could create an evening routine that involved family dinner, reading the Bible, and praying together as a family before bedtime. It was also an opportunity for them to talk freely about their day without any judgment. On weekends, they ensured quality family time, visiting parks, watching movies, as well as cooking and baking together. The parents now understood that healing was not a sprint, but a marathon requiring presence, patience, and professional guardians.